Um, Welcome to keeping it a little bit spicy. I'm gonna bring up my two guests if they're ready to come up. Thank you.
Hello, hello.
Welcome. Hello. Welcome in.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
She said I'm leaving. This is definitely rigged. Um, are you guys gonna turn on your camera or what's gonna happen?
Yeah, hold on.
It's not rigged, guys. My other guest, Roberto, had things to do, like a little family emergency, so this is what we whipped up in our last minute. These are my last minute guests. They were supposed to come up in July, but they're here now. Thank you for the heart me. All right, guys, we are gonna talk about friendship. First, they're gonna introduce themselves and tell us you guys what they do, and then we'll get started with the interview. Who wants to go first? Whenever Jess turns on her camera.
I'm going. Hold on. Sorry.
I guess I'll go first since she's not ready yet. Um, y'all know me, Tanya. I do makeup. I do OOTDs. I do um TikTok shop, random videos. I go live doing my makeup. I'm also a wife, a mom of two boys, and yeah. Hi everyone. I'm nervous. I act like I never go live, and I'm like, I'm so nervous.
Okay, sorry. I'm trying to get it ready. Um, I accidentally burned a paper, so if it smells like burnt, it's because I burned the paper.
Okay, bro, bye. Sorry, go ahead.
My name is Jess. Well, it's Jessica, but I go by Jess. Um, what were the questions?
You're gonna introduce yourself and tell them what you do.
Oh, I have a small business. I design cute glassware. It's on hold again. But if anyone needs anything, let me know. And then, yeah, I'm a mama to be, and um, and I make shirts. Yeah, thank you, Rian. But yeah, anything else?
All right, let's get started. How did you guys meet?
Who wants to start?
um, I can start. Well, we're gonna be talking about friendships. um, Tanya and I met here like a year and a half ago, and we've been friends ever since. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the first time? I think we might have followed each other from like a follow to follow thing or something. I don't know. But I was scrolling through like lives, and I was just going to people's lives, and I saw her, and she was like in the dark. I remember her being in the dark making cups or orders or something. So I just like hanging out with her, just talking to her, and then we just ended up just going to each other's lives all the time, and then yeah, that's how it
Yeah.
all started.
Ever since then.
Wow. Um, what does friendship mean to each of you?
um, Friendship to me just means someone to rely on, uh, someone that's there for you when you need it the most. Can you see me? Sorry, I feel like the light is like blinding.
No, you're fine.
Okay. Um, and yeah, it's someone that you that is there with when you need them the most. Tanya.
The same. I think it's basically just a friendship that's not forced too. Like it just flows and um yeah, someone there to talk to, no one someone there for to give you advice and tell you the truth without judging you. Even though she judges all the time. In a good way, in a good way. She knows that she's telling the truth and she likes us, and that's why she judges.
Okay, these questions are for Tanya. Why did you start TikTok?
I really wanted to get into the affiliate program and started making money. That's the first reason. But it kind of took a turn and like to something else. I made more of like a connection with people and friends that I don't think I've ever did outside of the app. Um, because sometimes you make friends like meeting friends like coworkers when you're working and then you make friends and stuff. I think this is a little bit different because you're basically hanging out with each other every single like minute of your day. Like something's like happening or like you just like basically see each other everywhere. So that's it started with like me wanting to become an affiliate to just like meeting amazing people in the app.
Okay. How long how long have you known Jess?
Over a year.
Over a year.
So we've been, yeah, she's basically like been with me since the beginning of me like starting my lives.
Mm-hmm.
She's been there. I think we've helped each other. Oh, I think she helped me more than we helped her in like the journey of like the TikTok stuff. But yeah, it's been like over a year since I known her.
Okay. These questions are for Jess. Why did you start TikTok, Jess?
Sorry. Um, I actually started TikTok for like a completely different reason. I started TikTok because it's a great marketing tool. If you guys don't know, as a small business owner, TikTok helps you a lot because it has a different algorithm than any of the other platforms. So when I actually first started TikTok, I it was just to kind of have like I started it in like 2020 when like COVID happened, and it was just kind of like to like scroll and pass through. But then I started seeing how people were like getting pushed out a lot that have small businesses, and like I knew that that's kind of like what I wanted to do. So that's why I kind of started using the page for. Um, I took like a turn with it as far as like what I wanted to do. Um, and I started going live again and pretty much like wanting to build a community in a sense. Um, so because like I think I have said this already, but I'll say it again. It's just that, you know, being at home and having a job at home all the time, like it's hard to find like when you're at work, you have your friends from work, and I have those friends that I met through work, and I still have them. And now like it's a lot harder to now it's a lot harder to have those kind of friendships. Sorry, I got distracted. um, it's kind of hard to have like those friendships and like build friendships because like you know I hardly leave my house, and it's usually just to like run errands or do anything. Um, So that's pretty much like on why it took a turn, was like to build more of a connection with people. Um, yeah.
How, how did you feel when you met Tanya?
How did I feel when I met Tanya? I don't know. Like it's weird because like Tanya and I just met through live. Like we've never met in person, which will hopefully one day we will. But it was nice having someone. I'm not gonna cry, Irene. Um, it was nice having someone like be in your lives, especially like at the beginning stages. Um, because like when you're starting to grow on TikTok and like grow like have a room on live,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to like have the support of people, and like it's hard for people to stay. So like when Tanya and I met, we met literally like she came to my live, and then I think I went to her live after that. And then after that we would just bouncing back and forth from each other. And like even if it was just her in my room or I was in her room, like we had someone there to have conversations with, because it gets so lonely being on here. So it was like nice to like have someone there, even if they're just listening and you're just like talking about nothing. Um, so it's definitely nice to have like it was definitely nice to have someone there during the hardest times, like during the beginning stages of going live.
Right. Because it's hard because you get like shy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. What's one quality you love about each other?
Hmm. Um, I like Tanya's ability that she's able to like grow and learn, and she learns so much from like everyone else, and and uses that to like elevate onto like her next life, which is amazing.
Children. Um, um, I like that she's like kind. I love that she's kind and like truthful, and she's always like pushing like to do like really good, especially I'm like I admire her a lot because she does like really good content, and I'm just like I'm like I want to be Jess when I grow up. I love her content. So yeah, there's a lot of qualities to love about Jess. Hanjo, they both can do makeup. Hey, my amazing eyebrows. I never used to do this to my eyebrows, and then I started doing that to my eyebrows because of Jess. So, yeah.
You guys learn from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, because there'll be
That's
like
good.
yeah, there'll be things that like we don't know about it, like we um that we learn from each other, or like things that I'm like, oh, like you know, I have to do. Please don't. um, it's just we just learn from each other, and we just like we take off each other, and it's like, and it's never jealousy or like within bad intentions. So like when we're if I tell Tanya like, oh, I'm gonna start doing this, like we're like, yeah, go ahead. Like I mean, it's up for grabs. It's not like just for me to do, which I think is also very important in friendship.
Yeah. Why do you think friendship on this app is important?
Um, I think friendship on this app is important because I feel like I'm in an interview.
You kind of know.
Yeah. Um, it's important because like in order for you to build a community, you need to start with your friends and like having your friends there. Um, once you have those friends, like it's easier for them because once you have those friends have more friends to push them out, to push out your lives. So like it's a growing circle. So that's why I think like building friendships, like even if we're small, even if there's like only three people in the app or whatever, or in the room, um, it helps because that gets more confidence. And I think I remember the live that Tanya ended up joining. Um, I had like over 200 and something people in there. And it was so hard because I didn't know anyone. And it was like difficult because like I had gone by, like I had, it had pushed out, the algorithm pushed it out, and I didn't know what to do. So like having someone there to like talk to me was just the easiest thing in like in the world.
Wait, what was the question again?
Why do you think friendship on this app is important?
um, because sometimes you need someone there when things are like down to give you a push, and also you need someone there when you're up there as well. Um, you basically need a support system in this app because if you don't, sometimes you just like it's easy to give up on this app, and you just need people to like just push you and say like it's okay, or you're doing great, or give you criticism. So
Right. How do you maintain maintain friendships as an adult?
Uh, Definitely like maintaining friendships as an adult is a lot harder than like obviously if you're in high school. Um, I think it's crazy. It's weird for us because we're like online friends, like, but we do talk outside of the app. You know, it's not just like a, oh, I'm in your room every day and like we're friends. Like, no, we do talk outside of the app. Um, but it's important to like, you know, stay in chat, stay in contact. If you haven't heard from someone, you know, within like a week, always like reach out to them. Um, and then like, you know, just do check-ins and see like how things are going, you know, because life can be chaotic sometimes. So
Right.
I think it's easier maintaining friendships, like adult friendships online than in person because it's really hard once to get out of the house because you have kids or you're married or you have some people have work too. And it's easier to come on this app and like to talk to people and then like to connect with people. So it's easier on the app, but it's like hard to maintain, keep friendships. It's possible, but it's harder.
Right. Can you have more than one best friend?
yes, for sure. I think like your friends
Hi, Mimi.
join in like different phases of your life. So um, I definitely have like, you know, different types of best friends, I guess I could say, um, because not all your friends share the same interest. For Abby, yeah, Abby, you can't have more than one friend. Sorry.
Okay. I won't.
Yeah, I feel like she said, you have best friends for different things. I guess like you could have like a real life best friend, online best friend. People are your best friend for a little bit and they just become a friend, or they're friends for a little bit then become best friends. It just depends on. I feel it depends on how you're feeling and what's going on around you.
Yeah.
Right. Well, think if you're gonna have several best friends, it's like you can probably tell this person one thing and you can't, like, you don't feel comfortable telling the other person, and that's okay too, you know?
Yeah.
It says, what makes a good friend today?
Um, I think a good friend is someone that supports your boundaries, and definitely celebrates your wins. Um, it's hard to get like stuck in that cycle of like jealousy, or like more of jealousy than anything else, I think. If you if you can't celebrate your friends' wins, then you kind of need to check yourself. um, because like I think that's important. Like you need someone to lift you up, and um, yeah.
And it can not only just be one-sided. Like one person cannot always be like cheering you on and you not doing it back. It has to be both ways.
Right. What's a red flag in a friendship that people don't talk about enough?
Jealousy.
Um, one
Someone
up.
being jealous of you.
Yes. The one uppers. Um, like the friends that are like, they're so excited for a win, and then that other friend is like, oh, but I did this, like it's so much better or whatever. Definitely that. Or someone that diminish your accomplishments too, like that doesn't like see your wins as big wins. They're just like, oh, like, congratulations, and that's it.
Right.
Or jealous of what you have, yes.
Jealous of
Or
what
jealous.
Yeah. I think jealousy is your enemy because it doesn't take you anywhere.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a real friend and a fake friend?
Mm.
Honestly, sometimes I don't even know the difference. These girls always are like, didn't you see this happening? Didn't you see this? I'm like, what? I'm friends with everyone. Everyone's friends with me. What are you talking about? So for me, I never notice it.
But real friends will check in on you when you need it the most, or like just to check in. It doesn't even have to be like you actually need them. They can just check in because it's a random Tuesday. Um, and also they don't need anything from you. Like, it's so hard to like get stuck in that cycle of like um wanting things. Like if your friend doesn't need anything. Like, you know,
By anything you mean,
like they don't need attention.
right?
So like, it's not always just about them. It's about both of you. And sometimes, I think sometimes friendship is like a real relationship. Um, it's never 50-50. It's always it always teeters just because of like, one day you might be 100 and the other person might not. And I think that's also very important on why you also need to check in on your friends.
Right. Should you always forgive a friend?
Um,
Okay, bye, Tanya.
I See, I don't know about that one because me, it depends on the person, and like if they constantly are doing the same thing over and over again,
Mm-hmm.
then like it's time to like let go. Like it's time to move on from that friendship. Um, but also like um, what else was I gonna say? But also I'm the type of person of like, if it depends on like what it was, then I'm kind of like, no, like this is unforgivable. There's like those unforgivable like things that you do, that people do.
The question was, should you always forgive a friend?
Depends what it is. But there's
Hmm.
like a limit and a point when you're just like you can't keep forgiving that person because they're just gonna try to like walk over you
Yeah,
constantly. Step on step how do you say it? You're like basically like a front
they're gonna
doormat.
crawl back to you. Yeah,
Always walk all over you. Yeah.
yes, they're gonna.
Yeah, in my opinion, nadie me la pidió, pero se las voy a dar. You do one thing
No,
to
it's
me,
your podcast. What's your opinion?
it's like you do one thing to me, and I'm just like I'm done. You're blocked, removed
Mhm.
from my life. I can see you in other lives, and it's like I'm gonna act like you don't exist. That it's like you're not gonna treat me like a doormat, and then keep coming. I keep forgiving you, and you keep coming back, and then you do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's definitely like a limit on how many times you could forgive a person. I think I agree with us as well. Um, for me, it's like twice is like a cap. Like I cannot forgive people more than twice, because I think three times, then they're just gonna keep doing it again.
Yeah, they're gonna think you're. It's okay. Let's see. How do you know when to let go of a friendship?
For me is when people around me are telling me like this person is not right to be around with. Because I obviously don't see signs.
Um, Definitely when like it starts feeling one-sided, um, or it starts feeling like an obligation. It's hard to like get stuck. I feel like sometimes you get stuck in like those, oh, I have to check in. And I've had a situation like that, where like I would have to like constantly like be checking in on someone, and then like I would only get like one word replies. And that's kind of just like my sign to be like, okay, I need to let that go and like stop trying to push something that, it's not reciprocated.
That's correct. Phone works both ways.
Yes, as well.
Is it okay to outgrow a friendship?
Yes. Um, I think friendships like change with this. They're like kind of like seasons with your life, and as your life goes on, um, those friends that I have that I had in elementary school, I don't have them anymore. Like, and those friends that I made in middle school, I didn't have them in high school, and when I had them in the ones I had in high school, I didn't have them in adult. Um, I think they just come in seasons, and it's okay to like grow apart. And obviously, like nothing happened, or it's not like bad blood or anything like that, but it's just like time to let go.
And then like even if you outgrow them doesn't mean like you don't care for them anymore or you are not friends for them for a reason. It's just some people do tend to like because of like people move, people just live their lives differently, people's lives change, but doesn't mean there's like no hard feelings there, you know?
All right. Have you ever had a friendship breakup worse than a romantic one?
Mm, have I? I'm not necessarily. But I have like it just friendships have been outgrown. Um, but I know like losing someone that you really trusted does hurt. So like for me, I had a friend who was a work friend, and like after we stopped working with each other, we like got along still after. And once like the conversation started like turning into one-sided, like I started feeling like I was the only one reaching out, I was the only one doing anything. That does hurt, but I think you just kind of have to like grow with it. And And it's hard, like, because you can mourn a friendship for sure. Um, but at the same time, like, I don't know, they're your besties. Like, so it's hard.
Like there was this one, like she was like my best like friend. It was like I was like in my early like 20s, and the only it's a big reason why we like not friends anymore is because she was trying to get into my marriage saying like if you don't leave him, I'm basically gonna not be there for you anymore. And I was like, huh? Just because I was trying to like help her with her relationship, but with that it didn't work out. And I don't know what she felt with like my husband. It was just weird, and she's just like, well, I'm not gonna be your friend anymore if like you're still with him. I was like, what the heck? I found it really, really weird. And I'm just like, what if she wasn't like that? Like, literally, I cared so much for her, so it kind of did hurt a little bit. But I'm just like, I'm not gonna leave my husband for a friend. And she was just not just a friend, but she was like a really good friend. But still,
How about you, Abby? Have you had a
plans and
situation
don't
like that?
invite you.
Mm, um, it's like, yeah, you guys know about it though. You guys know about it, and I don't want to like put it out there either, you know? Yeah. It says when they make plans and don't invite you. What do you mean?
I feel like that with that when they if I they don't invite me, I'm just like, oh, it's because I say no all the time. So they're like, I'm not gonna ask again because she's gonna say no, and then I feel FOMO because I'm like, why are they going out? I could have gone out this time, kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
but
I
then
get
again,
you.
not everybody's obligated to invite you to wherever they're going.
Mm-hmm.
hmm You have anything else to add, Jess?
No, no. As far as that, I mean, it's just for me, I was just very like always open to like doing things. So um, I was very like, oh, you want to hang out? Okay, tell me what time and when and where, and like I'll be there, type of thing. And I think that was more of like, because I was single at that time. I was like
Yeah.
very dependent, and I loved being out, and um, so definitely as soon as like I started being in a relationship and started like having a relationship, and like it obviously turned into like more of like um, it turned more into like, oh, um, let me see when I'm free, and it wasn't like it was never like my my schedule was 100% open anymore. It definitely had it's like, okay, I
Right.
need to spend time with my partner.
hmm Okay, the next question is how do you handle conflict with a friend?
um I think definitely talking about it helps, especially if they don't know that you have a conflict with them.
hmm
It's hard to like, if you feel like your friend did something to you and you don't talk about it, you're never going to resolve anything because it's just going to be buried in there unless you reach out and you say something. But also, like, grow with being human, we all have tiffs. Like, we all have, like, we're all annoyed. There's things that happen, but also not to put like the blame on someone,
Right.
because it's so easy to like say, no, you did this, instead of like hearing the other person out.
hmm
Um,
So it's like communication.
yes.
hmm
Communication is one of the big things because also you never know what the other person is going through, and that's why they're acting a certain way. So you should never be like, oh, why is this person like this? Like, this person's like acting this because they don't like me, or because of other reasons, but you never know. Like the other person could be going through things, and sometimes they just need like space. Sometimes they need probably someone to talk to, but they think they can't talk to you, kind of thing.
This question is not on here, but how do you guys feel about friends that need your attention 100%?
Well, for me, it's just kind of one of those things that like it's hard to like give someone's attention, 100%. And this kind of goes back into like having so many friends or like being having so many best friends and things like that. It's like because like it just doesn't become a healthy relationship. At the end of the day, this is a relationship that you maintain. And if you're not maintaining, like if you're not having a boundary with that person, it ends up being very one-sided and it ends up not being a friendship anymore. And you're just like, it's like becomes a toxic relationship.
Mm-hmm. Like she answered everything. It says, how do you build a strong friendship from the start?
I think friendships, I don't know. I think it depends. Like you sometimes it's a strong friendship like out of the bat, but sometimes it just like grows. Like you're not that close from the beginning, but it could like become something else, you know?
Um, Definitely like establishing trust, having boundaries, being able to like show up consistently. Like obviously not all the time, but like just being there when they need you. I think with Tanya and I, our friendship like started off a lot slower than most, just because like we're online friends. Like we've never met each other. We don't know who. Like we just this is
Strange
all we
danger.
this is all we see. So it's definitely like once you build that trust, then you're able to like that's yeah, like just building that trust, I guess, is the best way I can explain it.
Mm. How do you feel about friends that hide their hobbies and then do a live hobby reveal?
Block them. Block them immediately, both of them.
Okay. The next question is one piece of advice for everyone struggling with friendship right now.
Talk it
No.
through. I
Unfollow
think
them.
I'm following.
I'm following them and block them.
Just
I
block
think
them.
if like anyone's like struggling with like friendships or anything like that, I think the most important thing is like to talk it through. Because I think having a conversation is probably like one of the hardest things to to do. Um, so definitely talking it through and seeing where you both stand. Or, this is probably an unpopular opinion, is to also like take a break from that friend and then you will realize how like where they stand in your life.
Mhm.
Because that could also help.
Tanya.
I
What
can't
she
say
said.
that's what she said. Um
I was gonna be like what she
with
said.
me it's like if it's like from like one friendship, it's like not like if you need advice, like reach out for like advice of other friends, but at the same time, it's best to keep it between you and that friend
Mhm.
because the other person is I feel like they're gonna be biased and automatically be like, oh, it's their fault. Like you're the good person or this and that. So you don't want that like in your head. So it's just communicating with that friend and then be like, I need time or it's um not because of you or just communicate if it's because of them. Just communicate with them or like I need space, I need things to think about and stuff like that.
From what I understood, the first part that you said is like not run to tell someone else how they feel about you. They should just run and tell you how they feel about you.
Yeah, like once you start bringing more
It's not you.
people, it's not you, it's me. Once you start bringing more people into your problems, like se hacen grandes, like they just get bigger. Um, that's why it's always like better to just resolve it within like between you and that person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, unless like no, we'll just leave it at that.
Hold on, guys. Let me go back.
Have we ever fought, Jess?
No. What would we
Like
fight
we never
about?
had a fallout ever.
Have you
No.
ever fake fought with Jess?
What?
Has she ever fake fought with you?
No, but that was funny.
It was because we kept asking each other, what do we say? I'm like, what next?
I think once you build those friendships, it's like weird because I have now more online friends than I actually have like friends that I hang out with on a regular basis. Um, any questions for Abby? But no, like being on this app, I was able to invite some of my friends like to come to my wedding, and I actually got to meet people from this app. And it's weird. It's like a really weird concept because like you're used to meeting people online. I mean, in person. So meeting people online was definitely like a.
How did you feel when you met them outside the screen?
It felt weird. I was nervous. It's like meeting like it's it was like meeting someone I don't know. It was just a weird feeling, but it was also exciting because I would go live every day, like Monday through Friday, and they would always be in my room. So it was never like it was a different like aspect of actually like having someone in front of you and like actually meeting and like talking to you. But it looks weird because like we're just so used to seeing each other on the screen. So we're just like,
It's like when I met Abby, I was like, I've known her. I'm like, oh, that's where we're hanging out. It didn't feel weird at all to me. I was like, I'm just hanging out with Abby. Now we could chismear a gusto.
I was just scared Tanya was going to kidnap me, and that's it. I just feel like since you like for me, since I always saw you like from here up. I didn't expect it to be like so tall. So I was like, I know you would say like, oh, I'm this tall, but then I was like, nah, I think she's lying. So guys, yes, she's way taller than me. I'm a tiny human next to Tanya. But I met Lisbeth too. She came for candy, and I was like nervous. I was like, what if she doesn't show up, or like what if she doesn't like me when she sees me?
because it's weird. Like, I mean, we're so used to seeing each other on this app that when we actually like meet in person, it's like a whole like different concept. Um, but it's weird in the sense of like just seeing each other from like here up. Um, but it's not like, but it didn't feel weird talking to them. It was just, I think it was more weird for like the husbands to like,
Oh, because they never actually
because
met.
we never met anyone. But,
Hmm.
us three, we had talked and we met another time after, the wedding. And like that time was a lot more like comfortable and more,
Right.
um, like it was more like relaxed than the first time because it's like you're meeting someone for the first time.
Yeah, I feel like Tanya and I, our conversation was like how we're having it now. It was just, natural and a little different. If you guys have any questions in the chat for the guest, you guys can start asking now. Welcome back. How many people have you guys met off this app?
I mean, like off the
We're
app.
talking about friendship bear. Not friendship bear, we're talking about friendship. Yeah,
Just
off the
you.
app. Just me? And
I've
Lisbeth
met
is
two
And
other
then
talking.
people.
Lisbeth has been stalking me around the neighborhood, so she's met me. Just kidding.
I've only met two.
Two?
Yeah.
None? Oh,
Nanhandra. Well, you live on the West Coast.
I think he's the only one that we know that
On the
lives
East
in
Coast,
Florida.
maybe.
Yeah.
None.
And yeah, yeah. Guys, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Espo has been thinking we're friends and it's kinda creeping me out, you know? No, just kidding. No one, everyone's so far away. Yeah. Yeah, Bear came to LA and didn't even tell us because he didn't even want to meet us. I'm in the deep south. Yeah. Bro, I'm gonna go to your house tomorrow. You know what? Now I'm scared of sending you my address. That's wild. Yeah, it is wild for you. You didn't even. He went to. Oh, you know where he was at, Tony? He was at Porter's. I'm basically in Cuba. He was at Porter's and then whatever that's just called. And he didn't even tell us because, he didn't want to meet us. Only has 10 other friends.
I definitely do recommend meeting people off the app because
Yeah.
it's such an amazing feeling because like we talk every day like on this app. Tanya and I have been talking the whole year and we have never met in person. But she's become more of my friend like because we talk so much off the app. So,
Hmm.
I definitely recommend it. Like
Is why are you putting up a wall, Abby? No, girl, that's not a wall. It's a whole freaking, like, it's a wall building, some streets. You know what I mean? Um, wait, I met Tanya in October, November of last year, I think. Have you started before that? What year did you start TikTok, Tanya?
So I think I did like a year in November.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I've had TikTok, but like posting, it's like a year.
What about lives?
Lives, I think around
March
March or April.
of
Yeah,
2024?
20. Yeah,
of last year.
2024.
I met Abby in February.
I was trying to recall.
I don't remember. Thank you, cousin, for the hat. I don't remember. I met Jess a little after that. Um, I think I met Jess like probably December.
Mm,
You met me in January? Girl, I don't know when you picked up the candy. I hardly remember what I did today. Yeah, I think I met Jess and when I started going into Tanya's lives, but it wasn't like an instant, oh, we're following each other type thing, you know?
Yeah. I'm very like I have like my guard up whenever I meet new people and like meet new friends. So
Hmm.
it's hard for me to like let that wall down because I have to see how you are first before like you know I completely like ¿cómo se dice? Like yeah, it just
I
like
feel like for me it's hard because some people don't understand the way that I am and that I play around a lot. And that if I'm mean to you, that means I like you, and if I'm nice to you, that means I don't like you as well. um, so it's hard for people to understand the vibe. You know what I mean? Like some
yeah.
people are like, oh, I don't like her 'cause she does this. I'm like, give a shit. I'm still gonna do it. I gotta see consistency first, then I'm like, okay, cool. My army.
Is she nice to you, Rocio? Is that what you're saying it?
No, I hardly talk to Rocio, so she can't really say, oh. I
She's
hardly
like,
see
oh
her. Um,
no,
it's
but I'm
like
just
I think I started following Espa like a month ago, and I barely went into her life on Saturday just to be scared out of my mind. Just saying. Catch you later. She's the meanest to me. Be quiet. That's even
yeah, no.
worse. So she loves me the most.
But I agree with Rianne. Like, I have to see consistency because, like, you can tell, even though we haven't officially met, like, off the app,
Hmm.
you can feel people's vibes, like, even through the phone of how they are. And,
Hmm.
like, sometimes, like, you just don't vibe with that. And that's okay. And that's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what.
Esbeth is gonna be stuck with us because she vibes with all of us.
Who?
Esbeth,
Thank you,
she's
cousin.
everywhere now,
I don't
and
know.
I love it.
You leveled up. Um, I agree with Jess. Yeah, I don't know about Esbel. Nah, just kidding. No, I went into Esbel's live and she was like asking me 1 million questions in the 10 seconds that I was in there. I'm like, girl, at least let me drop the heart. Me, wait. Get to know me first.
She sounds like you though, because like I join in and it automatic request to go up. I'm like, whoa, like let me drop the heart me, say hi.
Thank you, cousin. Yeah. No, she's all right. We'll see. Esbel's like, we can't even mute the mod. Jesus.
You can. Just
No, Esbel's cool. Espo's the sweetest. Irene, don't be lying and gaslighting the poor woman. You see what I mean? There's people in the group that just gaslight you all the time. That's why you have me in your life. I'll tell you the truth. No, I feel like that's why it's harder for me to. You know what? For me to maintain a friendship is hard because one, if I don't vibe with you, I don't fuck with you. Two, if I start playing around with you and you get butthurt, deuces. And three, if you do something like the smallest thing and it irritates me, that's it. I'm dropping you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need all that negativity in my life. I already have 6 kids. I don't need to be helping other little kids, starting with their drama and their like jealousy, or everything bugs them. My kid just fell. Okay, my other kid's getting her. So that's what it's hard for me. For being more nice. Wow. Wow. Okay, you guys are gonna have to hold on. What happened?
curly hair like. So which have I done?
What do you mean? What have you done,
Right.
Rocio?
So which have I done? What? What is Lucia talking about? Oh, she's still talking about me? You have done nothing, Rocio. It's this, you don't really come around, a lot. I'm just gonna shut the fuck up.
She have a baby. Give her a break. What are you gonna do
Have a
when I have a
baby and more
baby?
kids.
Well, it's because I don't really, I don't think, I think I barely started following Rocio not that long ago. So it's like, there, the connection's not there yet. It's nothing bad, Rocio, I promise. I promise.
Rocio's cool.
Huh?
I
What
said
face,
Rocio's cool.
Rocio?
You guys been knowing Rocio longer. I've been to Tanya's life since probably like what, October, November. I didn't really talk to anybody in there till probably the ends of January when I started going to Robbie's lives. Trust me, I was scared of going into Robbie's life. Um, the only reason I'm actually still alive is because of Robbie. Because, he gave me a whole speech of there's a million people on this app, Abby, or a billion people on this app. And, why are you scared? I'm scared of you, Espo. Um, and it's true, like, we've made connections here. That's when I think I felt like I started talking to Jess more. Um, and then I started talking to Tanya more, and then I met Tiny in Tanya's life. She took my crown, and I was mad, and I went into her life and told her, "Why you take my? Oh, you're the girl that took my crown." But she was mad and blowing up off steam with somebody else, and I was like, "Oop, let me bounce out of here." um, and I feel like I met everybody, all of you guys. Well, I met Jess with Tanya, and then I met everybody else because of Robbie. You know what I mean? Um, that's why I feel like I have tested the waters with you guys, and then you guys are the type of people that can. If you guys are the type of people like se llevan y se aguantan. You know what I mean? Um, Tanya and I had a fake fight over the Discord. Um, we're not very good at that for what we noticed. But I feel like I've had more genuine connections here because in the first group that I started with, um, they this girl got mad because she said that I only went into her life for 5 minutes every time she was live, and it's like, yeah, I go in there, drop a heart, me, stay with you for 5 minutes because it was my daughter was a little bit younger, and she would cry if I wouldn't put her to sleep by 9:30. And she popped off, and none of the girls said anything to like tell her like, dude, we're on a live, why don't you just message her or anything. Like, she just went off on me, and I was like, no, if none of these girls stood up for me because they know my daughter's autistic, I don't need to be with this group, right? So I left, and then that's when I met the other group, and then we grew apart. I stopped talking to them, they started talking to me. I started to notice their true colors, and I was like, no, I need to get away from these people. That's when I met Robbie, and I was scared to go into his life. Um, and then I started joking around with him that I was fasting with him. I don't fast. I don't diet. Food is too good. Food is too good to be fasting with anybody.
Why did I think you actually did it with him?
No. So that's when I knew, okay, I can play around with Robbie. That I can agree with. I can play around with Robbie y se va a aguantar. And then that's when I met Alejandro, I met Mal, I met Moody. Um, I was scared to go into Moody's because I would see her from outside the window, and then she was getting lions and tigers, and I was like, God damn, this girl famousness. So I was scared of her. And I was like, I don't want to go in there, and she's gonna have like 30 people in her chat, 100 people in her chat, and I don't know. Somebody shared it out to me, and they're like, "Come here," and I was like, "No, I don't want to go. Please don't make me." So I went in there, connected with Moody. So I feel like you're always gonna find the wrong people to teach you a lesson, and you're always gonna have the right people to help you grow, no matter what.
Yeah. And to like add on to that, like um Tanya and I, like, we became friends because we like would show up for one another, but it was never forced. It was never like you have to be in my room if I'm gonna be in your room. And that goes with anyone that goes live. Um, if I go into your room, you don't have to come into mine because it's not like it's not mandatory. And like I did have like an issue with someone that did that. Like I was part of an agency when I first started, and she was in that agency. Tanya, you know who I'm talking about. um, and like she would always like share out her live and always wanted me to be in there, and she would never come into my live. And it got to the point that I'm like, if you want support, I'll support you, I'll be there, but you have to come into my room too. It's not just one-sided, you know but it's and if you're but everyone else is like different. Like if you don't want that like kind of support, then like if you don't care for that kind of support, then it's fine. So it just depends, because like there's people that like want you like, oh, you have to be in my room, or you only go in my room for 5 minutes. Or like the instance was that she was battling a friend, and I had already gone into her room and I said I was going to sleep. And I saw my other friend on the FYP, and I went into her room, obviously because it helps you if you come or if you're coming out of the FYP. And I said hi, and all she said was like, "Oh, is that Jess?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, she's here." And then she goes, oh, "She told me that she was leaving or that she was going to sleep." And I was just like, I can't say hi to like someone else. Like it's either your room or no one else. And I just didn't like that because it shouldn't be like that. It should be like you want to be in there, because you like them. It's not because they're constantly, what's that word, like constantly wanting that support, like,
Right.
because it doesn't
Well,
work that
it's
way.
not.
You
It's not
can't
an.
force it.
Yeah, it's not an obligation either.
Yeah, you can't force people to
And
be in there.
sometimes even if like you're in like the let's see like we see each other like in every single live, right? Sometimes one person's not gonna vibe with the same person, or
Hmm.
you're not gonna vibe with them, and that's okay. You could be nice to them, you can hang out with them, like be nice to them in the chat, and don't be like, why aren't you in my life? Like yes, we say that like
Hi, April.
jokingly,
Hmm.
but it's like you're not obligated to be in everybody's life. People's schedules are different, they're not like they say like Zaddy, right? I go into his live in the morning sometimes, but he's like rarely in mine. I'm not gonna be like, why hasn't you came? I understand he's sleeping, he has a different schedule than everybody else. Or people work in the morning and then they have time in the afternoon, so they're with like everyone else in the afternoon. So you can't be like upset at someone because they're not because you're there for them and they're not there for you back, you know?
Yeah. I feel like also a lot of the drama comes from this app that comes out of this app is because of the gifts.
Yeah, I agree.
Because people expect you to throw back what you to them, and that's not okay. Because people are gonna bless you with what they want.
how you've gotten why you don't tap the same for everyone. Because you can be on podcast mode and that's okay. Like
You
if
know
you're
what? Hold
in
on. Let me check if she's not. Just kidding.
like it's
Chloe
okay.
has the
Like
crown.
if you can just
No,
be in
no.
the podcast mode, if you're just like sitting in my room, if you're listening to me, that's fine. You know, at least I know that I'm not talking to like someone, you know, just I'm not talking to anyone. That's
Right.
crazy.
But I just feel like that's what makes the drama in this app, the
Yeah.
gifting. Yeah. Because let's say I can have 2 coins and send them to Jess, and then I stay with 0 coins and hi, baby, and then I can't send 2 coins to Tanya. I'm not gonna get mad at her. I mean, she's not gonna get mad at me. I hope not.
I'm just gonna get mad at you.
Mm. And if I go to your room and I don't gift you, it's because I don't have coins or I don't feel like we're vibing, or maybe I just went in there quick. But it's like you can't expect everybody to give you the same coins back or
Yeah.
more, because
And like
that's
gifting is not like mandatory. It's not like
Mhm.
you have to. It's like if you can. And you know, I think Zaddy said it last week where like all the money that he makes off this app just goes back straight into like here. And that happens here too, like, you know, but it's also like it can
Gifting is
also be addicting.
nice. Mm-hmm.
It can also be addicting because like then you start recharging your actual money
Mm-hmm.
and like, you know, it gets insane.
Yeah,
Um,
come on, it does.
and just because you give someone like more, that doesn't mean anything. Like you just mean that you support them more. Like I'm gonna use this as an example, but like when Rocio comes up in a box, like I gift her something because she's always in our lives. Like she's always in our lives. She's always supporting. Um, but she doesn't go live, so there's no way for me to like support her back in that same way. It's just easier for me. Like when she's in the box, I can just gift her.
Yeah, definitely. Tanya, you have anything else to add? Yeah, I think it goes. I think. Sorry, it's okay. I think it just goes like, am I your? I like. You gotta think also. Are they my friends just because so I can send them coins, or are they my friends because they genuinely want to be my friends? You know,
Oh yeah, for sure.
because there's people that expect. Mhm. That expect things, and it's not
Yeah.
like that. Like we can't all be expecting other people to do things for you, because then you're not gonna really grow.
Yeah. There's been times that I literally have just sent heart knees because that's all I could send through that week, you know? Because it adds up too. So I'm like,
Definitely.
but it's also like, yeah, it gets to be a lot. I think that's why a lot of people do take breaks too, is
Mm-hmm.
because it always comes back that's expecting it and not like they get an expectation out of it.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people take breaks, because sometimes I don't know. Like I took a week off because it's just mentally draining sometimes. It's
Yeah.
like then there's the drama, and then they try to involve you in it or whatever. Then you're just like, that's why a lot of people go ghost too, because they don't want people to expect anything. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or they turn off their badges because of that reason. Like,
Yeah, and that's what sucks about it, because I mean the app is to have fun, um, to make genuine connections, um, and not expect anything from anybody.
yeah.
But anyways, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, opinions,
or anything to add?
Or anything to add, we will take it now because we're about to close the podcast.